of all cryptocurrencies together in that period peaked at an even higher $728 billion, dropping just 3 weeks later to approximately $360 billion. In any event, there are compelling reasons why cryptocurrencies should be under more scrutiny by regulators and supervisors. The threat of price volatility, speculative trading, hack attacks, money laundering and terrorist financing all call for stricter regulation. Cryptocurrency has provided many avenues to financial freedom for many people. As the technology improves, the industry goes from strength to strength. Blockchain technology is now being used to enhance almost every single sector. From gaming to cross-border payments, crypto is now involved. Whilst Bitcoin and Ethereum cement themselves as the two powerhouses of the crypto world, many new exciting projects aim to aid real-world problems. Analysts estimate that the global cryptocurrency market will more than triple by 2030, hitting a valuation of nearly $5 billion. Whether they want to buy into it or not, investors, businesses, and brands cannot ignore the rising tide of crypto for long. As a matter of fact, the reward system for crypto
Reactions continue to trail the rumors that 22 senators elected on the platform of the APC are set to decamp to the opposition party, even as the president, as the national leader of the party, is trying to grapple with this scandal that is seemingly erupting right about now in the APC, where they are likely to lose their majority in the Senate. It's on that note I say good morning and welcome to another edition of the show. It says iBrand Daybreak, your favorite breakfast show that keeps you up to speed when it comes to the latest, talking about global events, as well as entertaining and informing you about local trends and international discussions. I'm Samson Olede, and I'm not doing this alone. I've got me Margaret Okpara right here with me. Good morning.
Good morning, Samson. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm good.
And you're supposed to ask me how are you?
Pardon my manners. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you so much. And it's been an amazing week. And as we move into the end of the month, how do you feel about the end of the month? Was June pretty fast for you, or it was kind of slow for you?
Well, it's difficult. I know there's always the myth of, a month, being particular fast or one particular slow, especially, January.
That seems to be very long. But for me, it's not a long month. January for me is one of the shortest months, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, I feel like it's like every other month. So I think it's just a mindset. People have had to spend a lot more during the festive.
Hoping the month ends quickly and all of that to get remunerated and all. Yeah, I understand that. But June, came. I wouldn't say fast, I wouldn't say slow. I think it was just one of those months that just came by. Before you know what happens, it's past you because you're basically wrapping your idea in work or other personal issues you're dealing with. And again, the time doesn't change. It's still TikTok, right? So, but we have to be thankful that we're alive, and thankful that regardless of the situation of the nation, we are still able to, breathe and earn a living, because to say it's a challenging time at this point for Nigerians is similarly an understatement in that sense. So the fact that we're here doing what we love to do, you can wake up, you go in, come out, you have to be thankful for life, really.
I understand that. Well, it's at least it's enough reason to be thankful as we go out of the first quarter into the second quarter of the year is enough to be thankful.
First half, you
meant? First half, I mean, why do I keep saying quarter? Oh, well, the first half of the year.
You probably have quarterly goals.
Yeah, of course.
Short-term goals.
Reminds me of football matches where you have the first half and then the second half. I think most of the time, I don't know if I'm correct, the second half is more like a determinant factor for how the match goes. Am I right?
Yeah,
whether
most times.
You win or you don't win.
Although it also depends that various teams that, from the first half, the match has literally been wrapped up because they're probably 4 or 5 goals ahead, and due to the superiority of both teams, you just know that whoever won the first half, as will end up being the winner.
But then for teams that I've supported over time, especially with Nigeria and sometimes Arsenal, from the first half they could have an amazing match. The second half, everything just
crumbles,
turns around, and you're like, but I thought we were winning in the first half. So what happened?
You can't, it's just about life, basically. Sports is a reflection of life, and it just shows you that, in the sense that you have, for your basketball, you have quarters, not halves.
Okay.
You have your first quarter, second quarter, third, and fourth. Now, for your football that you've mentioned, it's first and second half. The first half may be bad, but you have the opportunity to rebound in the second half. And that's what we talk about when you mention short-term goals, long-term goals. You can make mistakes in your 20s. Just try as much as possible to learn from them and ensure that in your 30s, you take up those valuable lessons and become a better person to, live a better life. So that's why I said it's a reflection of life. The fact that you had a bad first half doesn't mean your second half won't be good. It's all about you making the necessary adjustments. And that's the way life is. Sometimes in football, you have a team trailing, probably 2-3 goals. And then the second half, they stage a remarkable comeback to win. That's why Manchester United is known as Fergie time, as it were, during the days of their former manager. So I think we should be able to also incorporate that in our lives, that for every mistake, at every decisive point, it's an opportunity to just make amends from previous mistakes and, have a better life, as it were.
Yeah, I actually do agree with you. That's why I said sometimes, many a times, the second half is a determinant factor, how you want your year to wrap up. A lot of mistakes might have been made during the first half of the year. You now totally write off the year, like there's nothing that can come out of 2022. But then this is another opportunity. The first 6 months may seem very rough for you, and the economy bad, financially you are down, emotionally everything is just crumbling. But second half is an opportunity. It may not be as good as you expect or as bad as the first half, but then looking at all of the mistakes you have had to make during the first half, it's now an opportunity to sit down and like, what did I do? What did I do wrong? How can I right the wrongs? Or what was I not doing rightly? And how can I do them rightly? So opportunities always come by. There's always a second chance. Like they say, God is the God of a second chance. He always gives a second chance.
Or third chance.
As much chances as He gives, because He loves us. For those of us who believe in God anyway, He loves us and He believes that there's always an opportunity. That's why, going now into religion now.
Preach on, Pastor.
I'm going to preach. That's why when there is an opportunity, when humans went astray, there was an opportunity to come back to Him through Christ. For Christians now, through Christ, who He said He sent to the world to help right the wrongs that people had made over the time, the mistakes. So you've made this mistake, fine, quite all right. There's an opportunity for you to come back to me, even though you feel so far. So that's, if we try to talk about it, they're all intertwined, from the Bible to sports to life.
It's life.
It's life itself. So there's always something linking it.
Even within the Nigerian polity, you have to understand that we've made mistakes as a people and as a nation in terms of governance, in terms of choosing, the kind of leaders we have and all of that. We're now, reaching that decisive moment again in our history where we need to make, right decisions in terms of electing leaders to the right positions. And all of that will come as a result of learning from the mistakes of the past. So if we've had the first half, then we need to also ensure that going into the second half, we address some of these issues. The wrong or the biggest mistake we'll make is to give, the nation to the future generations the way we met it, or even worse than we met it. So there's always the need for, the present generation to improve the state of the nation and hand over a better nation to, the coming generations. And I hope that going into 2023, Nigerians will be able to make the right decisions in who they choose to lead them, not just from presidential, level, but also across the state levels and down to local governments for those who would have their local government elections.
Interestingly, all of the things we've talked about still boils down to choice. You mentioned who they choose to lead us. Talking about the first half, second half, how you choose to live in your second half of the year. Talking about relationship with God, how you choose to decide if you want to be on this path or the other path. You want to follow Christ or follow whatever path for those who are Christians. Talking about politics, so who you choose to lead you. That means all of those things in life is based on choices. The choices you make. So the first half will not right, the second half will not right the wrongs by itself. You have to decide and choose to right the wrongs. You have to choose to live right with God. You have also to choose who to lead. So all of those things, or who would lead this, all of those things we've mentioned, say boils down to choice.
That's the greatest gift. That's the greatest gift God gave us. Freedom. The freedom to choose.
The freedom to choose.
That's it. And that explains why, there's always the ambiguity in that concept called freedom or liberty, if you want to call it that. But it's the freedom to choose. Even when, going by the, Judeo-Christian religion now, that's Christianity, even when He gave us a son, for those who are Christians, He didn't mandate that you have to believe in Him.
You have to decide.
For God so loved the world that He gave us His only begotten Son. He said, whosoever believeth. It's a choice. It's not compulsory. So freedom definitely is it comes with choice.
And sorry, he also gave us a choice in the Bible that you can decide to choose life and death. But he said, I'd rather choose life. But then he didn't force you to choose life. He didn't force you to choose death.
So it's about choice. As I said, I hope that as a people and as a nation that we get it right in terms of the choices we make this time around. Because 2023 will determine another 4 years, of our nation in terms of the direction we'll go, in terms of the standard of living, the cost of living, the image of the nation as a people, how it rubs off on us and all of that. We need to address all of these issues, and we address it by making the right choices when it comes to electing leaders across all the boards. So I really hope that we get it right. Even as individuals in our lives, we'll get to that point where we just have to make some tough choices, and it requires us.
It may seem confusing at the point, difficult. Like seem like it's going to push you, but then. I'm sorry to cut it, but I like to illustrate with a rubber band. You're trying to shoot, for instance, a catapult. You're trying to shoot, aim at the bird on the tree or a lizard somewhere. If you draw the elastic to a very short range, the stone wouldn't go far. The longer the range, the elasticity, the longer the range, the farther your stone goes. So you're trying to shoot yourself into your next level. You're just saying, I don't want to break. I'm an elastic, I might break. But then you're forgetting that the longer the elastic is, the farther the short. So the shorter the elastic, the shorter the stone.
It's about pushing the limits, redrawing the boundaries and just seeing how far you can go. And you'll be amazed at the length, the extent at which one can go if you push the boundaries. That's what life is about. So tough choices have to be made as individuals in our personal life, work career, generally in life, especially in terms of politics. As a nation, we are at that decisive moment where we need to charter a new course, and we hope that we get we make the right choices in the coming election.
Yeah, we hope so. And don't forget choices. Like choices we had already said, choices are never easy. The time to make choices, and you have to go back to your closet to cry, or to ask yourself, am I sure I made the right choice? More like someone investing in forex, and you're sure it's going to bring some money at the end of the day, but then there's a point you get so broken, like, am I sure this was the right decisions? And also, even in our choices, it's okay to make choices that you're not sure of, and it's also okay to fail in some of those choices.
You can't get it right all the time.
Sometimes when you fail, you now have to sit back. I'm like, okay, this was what I didn't do right. Okay, I went through the step. I did A, B, C, D. I jumped E, and I went to F, G, H. And right now, it's important to
retrace your steps.
Yeah, and have to go through E, because now it's, when you're trying to jump classes, you're trying to go from GSS1 to GSS2, you jump GSS3 to SS1. It may seem like you're ahead, but then the truth is that for every stage, there's something you should learn at that stage. Now, some people get promoted, but then life is in stages. There's some things at every stage of your life, you pick up something from that stage. And when you start avoiding to get to that stage, you realize that what you should pick up from that stage, you've lost of it totally, or maybe. So I think at this point we just have to make Nigerians realize, relating to our politics now, the choice still remains with you. You are the ball is in your court, how you want your country to be in the next 5, 7, 10 years, and in future time to come for your children. The choice is with you. Elections are coming up. Please vote with your conscience and not vote against your conscience. Well, on the show today, promises to be super amazing, educative, informative, and all the goodies we have for you, talking about politics, state of the nation. Then we'll go to the money monetization segment and the sports business, and wrapping up the show with social media buzz. But before I forget, I am Margaret Obara, and please sit back, enjoy. We'll be right back as the show continues.
Are you a business owner looking for the right exposure to attract massive clients to your brand? The long search is definitely over. SME Hub allows you to showcase your products and services to a wide range of viewers and buyers nationwide. For further inquiries, please call Alero on 081-323-43262, or you can send an email to alero.obidere@ibrandtv.com. Grow your brand and boost your business on SME Hub, live on IBrandTV, where business comes first.
future of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies continue to draw a lot of attention from investors, entrepreneurs, regulators, and the general public. Many recent public discussions of cryptocurrencies have been triggered by the substantial changes in their prices, claims that the market for cryptocurrencies is a bubble without any fundamental value, and also concerns about evasion of regulatory and legal oversight. These concerns have led to calls for increased regulation or even a total ban. Further debates concern inter alia, the classification of cryptocurrencies as commodities, money, or something else, the potential development of cryptocurrency derivatives and of credit contracts in cryptocurrency, the use of initial coin offerings (ICO), employing cryptocurrency technology to finance startup initiatives, and the issue of digital currencies by central banks employing cryptocurrency technologies. Market size and opportunities. The total market capitalization of the 100 largest cryptocurrencies is reported to exceed the equivalent of 330 billion euros globally by early 2018. The total market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies together in that period peaked at an even higher $728 billion, dropping just 3 weeks later to approximately $360 billion. In any event, there are compelling reasons why cryptocurrencies should be under more scrutiny by regulators and supervisors. The threat of price volatility, speculative trading, hack attacks, money laundering, and terrorist financing all call for stricter regulation. Cryptocurrency has provided many avenues to financial freedom for many people. As the technology improves, the industry goes from strength to strength. Blockchain technology is now being used to enhance almost every single sector. From gaming to cross-border payments, crypto is now involved. Whilst Bitcoin and Ethereum cement themselves as the two powerhouses of the crypto world, many new exciting projects aim to aid real-world problems. Analysts estimate that the global cryptocurrency market will more than triple by 2030, hitting a valuation of nearly $5 billion. Whether they want to buy into it or not, investors, businesses, and brands cannot ignore the rising tide of crypto for long. As a matter of fact, the reward system for cryptocurrency creates an incentive to leverage on computing power, increasing the consumption of energy. For example, note that computational efforts of miners are costly, mainly because the proof-of-work calculations are power-intensive, consuming more than 173 megawatts of electricity continuously.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
The Senate has resolved to continue with its investigation into the crisis in the Supreme Court, despite the resignation of Justice Tanko Muhammad as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Lawmakers in the upper chamber of the National Assembly made the resolution during the plenary on Tuesday, following a motion moved by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele. The justices of the Supreme Court had, in a petition addressed to the immediate past CGN, raised concerns over the deplorable welfare conditions and difficult working environment in the apex court. Days after the development, Justice Mohammed Tanko resigned as the CGN on the grounds of ill health, cutting short his tenure in office, which was expected to last until 2023. And now joining us right here in the studio to make sense of this conversation, we have with us a political technocrat and friend of the house, Dr. Dayo Kayode. Good morning, Dr. Dayo, and thank you for joining us on the show.
It's my pleasure being here.
Good morning.
All right. All right, Dr. Dayo, we saw the resignation of the CJN, now which is now former, and also the swearing in almost immediately of a new CJN as acting by the president. Now, allegations have been leveled against him, and in the midst of these allegations, he tendered his resignation on the grounds of ill health. Do not forget that some time ago you were on the show, I think about 2 weeks back or a week ago, you said in the history of the Nigerian judiciary, such a thing has not happened. Again, let's get your thought on this.
And again, as have we ever experienced a CGN also resigning in this nation? That is to tell you how far we have brought ourselves to a very low standard. Because even when that guy was being appointed, a lot of us were saying no. There are a lot of people there. Okay, look at the credential of this other guy. What's his name again? That had just been yes, that has just been appointed as a CGN. Can you compare this former CGN with also
Walter Onoge?
Walter Onoge? No. He even went to the A for an interview for the first time Nigeria carried last position. Do you understand? The only new thing, okay, he brought 2 new things to the judiciary. We saw a CJ now carrying a bag across his neck. And then he was just being lucky that we had independence of the judiciary. And then we find out what he used with that independence of the judiciary. Allegation of mismanagement of funds in dollars. And then using it to also oppress other judges. And what happened? They kicked against him. Is this just now that he knew that he is ill? He is just, how did they put it? Something to bad radiance in our country. He has reduced the judiciary.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Yes. But thank God, this new person that is there, we hope that we are going to see a new judiciary in our nation, because we need a sound judiciary to deepen our democracy. And what do we need now in this country to move forward? A deepened democracy.
Well, let's look at this. I mean, the justices wrote their letter about 7-8 days ago, and if the Senate is just ordering a probe as a result of his resignation, what happened prior to then? Why didn't they initiate a probe immediately? That's 1. 2, what would this probe do in terms of addressing these allegations? The former CJN now, in his defense, said the country is facing economic crunch, and that has also affected the welfareism of the justices. So how do you juxtapose that with the allegations?
The question also is, what has the Senate made out of series of proofs they have been conducting? That of MP,
yes,
is still there when that lady Adiza was removed. That of former chairman of the EFCC, is still there.
Margot.
A lot of probes that they have, what have they made out of it? Even there are instances that they're supposed to have instituted a probe, or which they refuse to.
And you don't think it's politically motivated?
Oh, okay. Look at that of Dangote. He said he invested, I think, $10 billion in that refinery. After a while, the thing had now increased to $50 billion. Yeah. All right, and is now paying, I think, $500 whatever dollars every year. And then the NNPC, Nigerian government through NNPC, COO, bought in 20% into it, which invariably turned to that 10 billion. Has it not recouped the money? So on what basis are we doing that? To what extent has federal government invested in other private companies like Airpeace, like Glo, and others, even Innocent Motors, that is making waves? Have they invested in that? So these are issues. The recent one that happened to, what's his name, Bratai,
yeah,
the allegation that ICPC officials got so much dollars in his house, are they also talking about the probe? No. So what we are saying is, are we now playing politics with fighting corruption in Nigeria now? So whether they say they want to probe the former CGN or not, to me, it's not an issue, because till today, I've not seen any white paper or anything good coming out of various probes they have instituted in the past.
Now let's look at some of the concerns raised by some of the judges, one of which includes the deplorable state of the apex courts and many other courts too. If you go to the Yaba Magistrate Court, it's not even as good as it should be, and that's not an apex court. And also, aside the deplorable state of the court, we have public offices. You go to some public offices and government offices, deplorable. The correctional centers are nothing to write home about. And now these are some of the concerns raised by these judges. How can it be addressed? And also the fact that in some of the judges, they're still having to go through the paper and pen method, which is not even standard for a country that calls itself the giant of Africa.
It is all it is because of our deplorable system too. I use that word, deplorable system. Routes, deplorable. All airports, deplorable. Seaports, deplorable. Even Nigerians, deplorable in terms of not being able to feed well, not being able to have a good standard of living. Universities, deplorable. Students, deplorable. They have been at home for how long? But one thing I'd been saying now, the former CJN, the money that is meant for the development of our judiciary, it's being alleged to be found in his own private pockets. So that means the money meant for our economic growth and development are likely to also be in private pockets. And the solution is, let us identify all these people. Let us remove politics from the so-called probes that we are having here and there. Let us remove politics from fighting corruption. To that extent, all our money will come back to national purse, and we'll be able to allocate all these resources to ensure that the system is being removed from being deplorable to where it's supposed to be.
You mentioned remove politics from fighting corruption.
Yeah.
Is it the kind of politics that is played in Nigeria? Because if you talk about politics in itself is not even a bad thing. Probably the way it is played in Nigeria.
Exactly.
So if you say remove politics from fighting corruption, I'd like you to probably channel it or streamline it to a particular, or what you mean in that sense.
Now, you see, before now, or even let me put it this way, there is no nation you go to that you will not see corruption. I can bet you to anybody. There is no nation you will go, even America. Even America, even Britain, go there, you will see corruption. But one thing is very clear. The well-being of the society is always paramount. Okay, the well-being of the people is always paramount. The maintenance of the system, is also very paramount. Because without system, the society will not grow. It will not get to where it's supposed to get to. But here, the reverse is the case. Even at this, especially in this particular regime, it has now become so institutionalized that everybody, you can imagine NEPA official asking somebody that is using prepaid to go and bring all the research, all the recharge token he has been using for how many years. And the man was now looking like, okay, the one you could get, he brought. But incidentally, I now got to that scene. I said, for goodness sake, are you not supposed to have this record in your office? If somebody has not been recharging, you will definitely see it. Now, if you want to know whether he has been recharging his system or not, go to your system and find out. And if he has not been recharged, definitely the light will be off. But why was he doing that? He's looking for a way to extort. It's extortion. He wanted to, but because I came in, or the issue of the so-called task force that they said they are task force from Alausa that double crossed another road user for nothing. Do you understand? It's all extortion. So not until when we remove all of this, and between you and me, we are all involved. Okay. Including you and me, we are all involved. By crying out loud about all these bad happenstances. So not until when we decide to look at it that fighting corruption is not only the work of government, it's the work of everybody. By coming out with the councillor in your area, if only you know him or her, who has not been able to feed before, but because he's not a councillor, he's now using big cars, he's now building big houses, he's now living above his means. Say it out, blow the whistle. So not until when we all are involved, honestly speaking, we are still going to remain at the same junction, which we are.
Okay, looking at the CJN, or rather the former CJN, is the Tanko Mohammed. Is the defense he came up with, does that hold water for you?
The what?
The defense he came up with in terms of economic crunch, it's also affected the welfareism of the judge.
Even when you catch a thief with the meat, he's stealing from the pot, you still want to put up a defense. So let him put up a defense. So it's not left for we Nigerians, not those people probing. It is now left for we Nigerians to know and then see all those defenses he's trying to put up, whether they could hold water or not.
Okay, Dr. Dayo. Now let's go to the next story. The next story says, following Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawale's declaration for residents of the state to bear arms due to unrelenting security challenges facing the state, Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State has said that the security situation in his home state has not degenerated to the level of individuals carrying arms. Commenting on the issue on Tuesday while speaking with newsmen after a visit to President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House, Abuja, Uzodinma stressed that although he was not in Zamfara and could not say why the government was making the move, his own administration was in control of the security situation in Imo State. Should citizens be allowed to carry arms? Now, this particular question has, yesterday I was on radio driving through to the house, or from work to the house. I could radio, and a lot of persons called in and had their different opinions how Nigeria in itself, or Nigerians, we are already I don't know, probably hyperactive people, and that situation could cause something really, really, really deadly. And I hope Uzodinma's statement and the statement of the governor of Zamfara State, these are two conflicting statements. But the fact that Imo State in its own has had a lot of issues with unknown gunmen, raising of police stations, and residents of Imo State. But has it gotten to the extent where Nigerians should carry arms to protect themselves?
When a sleeping government is at the helm of affairs, these are the situations that you see. All right? These are things that will be imagined. The government, and let me even say the leaders are decided to leave the citizens to their own selves, to be providing everything for themselves. Let me ask you, have you ever heard of Water Corporation before?
Of course, yes, I've heard of Water Corporation before.
But in the papers?
Oh, of course, papers.
Do you understand? In those days when we were growing up, Water Corporation gives water to every household.
Free of charge.
Do you understand? In those days, before ECN, Electric Corporation of Nigeria, takes light, it will be advertised in the papers that ECN will be taking light in so-so environment at so-so time. And they will give reasons. They will give reasons. In those days, you will see PWD, that is Public Works Department, moving around, even the streets, ensuring that every street has passable roads. In those days, you also have wole. They call them wole. I don't know what they call them in Igbo or Hausa. That is health inspectors going around, ensuring that drainages are clean and you don't even see anybody using insecticide, because drainages, bushes are clean. You don't even see trashes around your compound holding water. That's, where mosquitoes will breed. But what do we see these days? Everything is now being left in the hands of the people, including security.
Okay.
So Zamfara, that is now saying, since you are providing everything for yourself, also provide security for yourself. But with that, Nigeria will be in a perilous state. Okay. Serious perilous state. Because any little thing aggravates annoyance. Hardly will you see anybody on the road that is not having this that I call how do I put it now? People are not healthy. People are psychologically down. Okay? Born out of one, not being able to feed. 2, no good health. 3, no employment. Imagine somebody who had been working in a bank before, but because of all this high cost of maintenance, whereby they reduce their working hour, operational hour to now 3 o'clock, a lot of people have been retrenched. You don't know. Yes. But those of us outside, we know. Imagine somebody who had been working in the bank before, the tie, the suit, and all that, even more than that of a Samson, is now not being able to put on that suit again. Not being able to fend for the family. Will that person be psychologically okay? So any little thing will trigger annoyance. And when you know you have a gun, you can kill anybody. It will also increase even the rate of suicide. Because you know that whatever happens, you can easily blow off your head. But at the same time, people still need to defend themselves. So it now behoves on government to wake up from their slumber and fight these terrorists. Again, these terrorists will also be there when politicians are also arming youth, giving them arms and ammunition for electioneering purposes. And after the election, do they get back these things from them? No. What do you want them to be using that thing for? They'll be using it to terrorize the people, because they know others are not privileged to have such arms and ammunition.
Okay, I mean, we'll definitely continue with that line of thought. We'll just go on a very short break now. When we return, the discussion definitely continues with Dr. Dayakade, the political technocrat. Please do stay tuned.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services, that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash, quick delivery.
Oh boy, winning you was so easy.
I just couldn't stand those your powerful shots. That's what happened.
Really? Let's go to my place for dinner.
This fufu is so nice.
It's through unripe plantain flour.
True
that way they can, you know, begin to make use of the gun in very inappropriate measures. That's at the very least. But
sorry, can you also relate it with all those shooting themselves here now?
But they have access to
cultism.
Yeah.
Cultism is increasing. Even in primary schools.
Yes.
Something. I say even not secondary now.
Primary.
Even in primary schools.
Yes.
Cultism is now. Imagine people now carrying guns. A small boy of 9, 10 that normally go to his father's bedroom to remove, I don't want to use the word steal, golden pen, biro, do you understand, to take to school, to flash in school, can also carry the man's gun to go and flash in school. So honestly speaking, these are issues that, yes, I sympathize with people in Zamfara, with people in the northeast and all that, even people in the southwest and southeast. I sympathize with Nigerians, but still, Nigerians' psyche is not yet developed enough to be carrying guns. Even look at those that are having guns. There was a case in this country whereby a small boy went to carry his father's gun. Have we forgotten? It was in the news. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now imagine if people are now being licensed to carry guns. What will happen?
But since the government has failed in all of its primary responsibilities to its people, which is safeguarding lives and properties, what would you have them do? And now, I'm not saying they should carry guns, but these people, look at the issue of Owo. We would have the effrontery to go into a church. You can't go to Shongo's shrine to do that. You can't go to but then they have the effrontery to go into churches and mosques to kill. What would people do? Lose their loved ones over this?
I wouldn't want us to allow emotions,
certain
rhetorics to blindfold our sense of reasoning.
But then will you tell this to people who had lost their loved ones?
No. You know, each time it appalls me that especially this government has failed woefully in that aspect. There was a time on a platform I even called for the president's resignation because he has failed in upholding the constitution he swore to in terms of safety, providing safety for lives and properties of the people, as well as ensuring their economic well-being. I called for his resignation, but a lone voice in the wilderness cannot be audible enough, except others can join in echoing it. All right? No doubt about that. I fell for those that have lost their loved ones to acts of terrorism. But at the same time, if we are talking about the government not living up to their responsibilities, we will further increase it. If we allow people to carry guns, we will further
even with the right
increase it.
Even with the right legislation, I mean, banning of semi-automatic rifles, limiting it to upping up the age, you know, eligible for gun ownership, among
upping up. Tell me which age bracket is psychologically balanced in this country? Which age bracket?
Well,
I was eating somewhere yesterday at one local booker. I like going to local booker. Yes, I know as an African man, I don't eat all this Maggi that they put in food in all these eateries.
Okay.
And this man strolling, elderly fellow, he was sitting behind me. And I heard him murmuring. If only he can be having enough money to be coming around this kind of a place, at least to feed himself. I don't know whether you understand. If only. That means this man is always hungry. He's not getting enough money at the right time to come and feed himself. I don't know whether you understand. I was moved by that. He was murmuring to himself, not to anybody, because he was the only one sitting. But I heard him clearly. So that is to say, there is no age bracket that is free from the psychological stress that our leaders are putting us. And I said it here. It's intentional. They are doing all that intentionally so that they will continue to perpetuate their hegemonic oligarchy upon the people without the ability to challenge them. And that's why they have taken away education. They have taken away education. They have taken away healthcare. They have taken away everything that can give us good livelihood. But again, we the people should understand one thing. If we remain, or if we refuse to emancipate ourselves by all means, we're going to remain emaciated.
Looking at this now, if I understand, you know, the place of or the fear of gun violence in all of this, in terms of Nigerians being permitted to carry guns and all, but if the spate of insecurity continues, you have kidnapping being a thriving business, you have the bandits, well, terrorists as they have been gazetted, perpetrating evil across down from northeast to northwest. There's still the Boko Haram insurgency. Virtually no region of the nation is safe. Don't you think that Nigerians will be forced to improvise? And that's one. And two, if Nigerians can't be allowed to carry guns, will you advocate that regional security outfits like your iBRAND, your Amotekun be permitted to carry guns?
But the NSCDC, they are carrying guns now.
I'm talking about regional security outfits.
I'm coming.
Okay.
What did they see in them to be carrying guns?
That's national.
Yeah, before now they were not.
Yes.
But it's national.
But now they carry guns. Before now, customs were not carrying guns.
National
but
again.
now, the same thing with some people within immigration.
Yes.
So, whatever we see in those people.
Those are national bodies.
Yes. Whatever we see in those people, let us also see whether we can get it. Whether we can get it from all those regional forces.
But for a nation that is against state policing...
I'm against state policing, but you see all those regional... Also, let me tell you, let us be factual now. All these Amotekun, who are those people in that Amotekun? Who are those in Biagu? Do you understand? They are people that are traditional hunters, traditional warriors.
Okay.
And when you're talking of traditional hunters, traditional warriors, they use traditional means also. We are aware. We are all aware, whether film trick or no film trick, whereby all those terrorists that pretend to be headers were being caught somewhere in Igboho.
Yes.
Somewhere in Igboho, Ibarapa area. They just put something on the ground as they were crossing. Thunder started striking them. We can be using that now. Baba Basanjo, when he was after being the head of state, he clamored for carrying Betu to South Africa now.
Okay.
Did you not carry Betu to South Africa? We have all of these things.
Okay.
So we can make good use. See, let us stop debasing our own. let us stop this sense of anti-ethnocentrism. We should see this thing as the best.
Okay, Dr. Dayo. Well,
okay.
no, quickly. I think
in those days, yes. We started telephone now in Africa. You will put water on the floor, and you'll be talking to somebody somewhere else, and you'll be seeing yourselves. Where are those things?
Dr. Dayo, well, for the want of time, we just move straight to the next topic that says at least 46 migrants were found dead on Monday in around a truck that was abandoned on the roadside on the outskirts of the Texas city of San Antonio. The grim discovery was one of the worst disasters involving migrants in the United States in recent years and came 5 years after a similar deadly incident in the same central Texas city, a few hours from the Mexican border. Officials said 3 people were in custody over the incident. 16 people had been transported to hospital alive and conscious, 12 adults and 4 children. Dr. Dayo, still talking about the illegal migration. Well, talks have been that so people are trying to run out from their home country to look for greener pastures and die in the process. I know you have a lot of things to say concerning this.
Yes. It's not only in America that I've been seeing illegal migrants, people looking for greener pasture. Even we also have people from Niger, the Sahel, and other coming to Nigeria because they know, they believe that Nigeria is better than all those areas. But you see, this one becomes a thing of discussion because if you go through that news properly, you're going to see that in that same area in Texas, that will be the second time this thing will be happening. All right, and in that part of an area, I wouldn't know why that driver was not cautious enough to know that one, either the temperature of the air conditioner at the back of the truck was higher for human existence or lower. Probably even the door at the back was locked because I read it that those social workers, when they go there, they have to open the panels of the truck. So it becomes a thing of worry. And then for Brother Abidemi there, Biden. Yes, I always call him Brother Abidemi and Sister Pelosi. They have to do something as regards their liberalization of migration laws in that which they have relaxed. Yes. Unlike
the Trump
when trumpeter Trump was there, because Trump will blow it up. Okay, look, you are not allowed to enter our country illegally. You don't force into people's. Okay, look at what we are seeing in Nigeria now, because we have porous border there, and we have somebody who is not that is not sensitive, closing his eyes because they are from his area of birth. Do you understand where he believes he owes allegiance to? So if we are not learning lessons from these kind of happenstances, here, our own eye is leading to terrorism, and then we have not been able to tackle it.
But some of the persons are from African countries, and then you see that they're all trying. Most of them, or some of them, are trying to run out of the African continent. So when
these ones were from Mexico.
I'm talking about illegal migrants.
Okay,
so in general terms, are from African countries.
Yeah, coming to Nigeria.
And they are trying to,
looking for
a better.
But the question is, in America, if you enter America today, your record will be there. When you are leaving, the record will also be there. What kind of record do we have? No, what kind of record do we have? Do we even know the population of our country? No. Again, do we also know the type of people that are entering our country? Should I blow your mind? There was a news sometimes ago. Don't let me mention the name. A particular big shot in this country who is involved in big businesses, in oil, in gas, banking, construction, estates. His truck was caught. Was caught transporting terrorists to this country. People with guns, daggers, and then covered with tarpaulin. And the driver claimed that, okay, it's what he was transporting were goods that they normally transport. If I mention that product again, you will know the person. So don't let me mention the product. But at the end of the day, based on information, that truck was intercepted, stopped, and searched. And what did we find? Any proof since then? Any information since then?
Senate.
Because we are waiting on Senate.
Okay, now let's look at the issue of irregular migration. That those who are probably running away from war-torn zones, like maybe Somalia and the rest of them, people would always migrate, regardless of the side of the divide you're in. You talked about Biden, Trump. I mean, those are ideologies that makes that particular divide in terms of liberals and conservatives. But the truth is, regardless of how uptight the migration laws are in trying to tighten the border, or how seemingly loose they are in welcoming migrants as one people, one nation, the truth is people will still migrate irregularly, it must be said. Now, how do we address these issues? We know the problems. For those who migrate from Africa, it's about pursuit of better living and all of that. For those who are running away from war-torn zones, that trying to seek asylum to at least leave, that's its standard. How do we address it to curb it in its barest minimum? People go through a whole lot. Mediterranean Sea, the Sahara's desert and all, just to get across, the other side of the world.
Samson, migration is part of creation.
Exactly.
And I will give you two examples from the two religions.
Prominent religions.
Two prominent Abrahamic religions. It was written, I read in the Bible, that God called Abraham, leave the land of your father and your mother and go to the land that I will show you, where milk and honey flows. Is that not migration? Even being directed by the Almighty creation.
Creator.
Also in Muslim, he asked Muhammad, SAW, to leave Mecca for Medina because they wanted to kill him. He said, leave Mecca, go to the land of your mother, Medina. Is that also migration?
Yes.
From the Almighty Creator? Do you understand? But the question is, especially in Nigeria, what record do we have of the influx of people into Nigeria? There is nothing bad about migration. But people must have a cogent reason for coming to your land. And you must be ready. You must be sure that you can accommodate them by providing for their needs. And that's the essence of issuance of visa. For leaving your country to another country, you will feel reasons. Is it on economic grant? Is it for asylum? Is it for education? Is it for health? I'm not talking about that of Ekere Madu's case of recent. Do you understand? Even as regards that of Ekere Madu, you can see the reasons were there for that small boy. So what I'm saying now is, in our own country, Nigeria, even all those Indians, go around and ask some of them, go and do a costly investigative journalism there and find out how many of them are properly recorded here, and then find out what are the roles played by our own immigration, because this one now leads us to the roles of the immigration at various borders. What are the roles? And that one takes us back to the issue of systemic failure, and that now takes us back to a well-being of the people. So if their well-being are being properly taken care of, will they be planning to cut corners?
All right, Dr. Dayo, that's a good place to wrap up the segment. Thank you so much. We know you have a lot of things to say, and we'd always have time for you to come on the show again and say all you need to say. We appreciate you, Dr. Dayo, as always.
I appreciate you too. I like being in your midst here, especially the smiles that you always give.
Thank you.
But then please don't terrorize me with.
No, all right, yeah, thank you so much. Well, that was Dr. Dayo Kayode right here, and it's been an amazing show. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, it's the Money Motivation segment as the show continues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Are you a business owner looking for the right exposure to attract massive clients to your brand? The long search is definitely over. SME Hub allows you to showcase your products and services to a wide range of viewers and buyers nationwide. For further inquiries, please call Alero on 081-323-43262, or you can send an email to alero.ogudere@ibrandtv.com. Grow your brand and boost your business on SME Hub, live on IBrandTV, where business comes first.
The future of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies continue to draw a lot of attention from investors, entrepreneurs, regulators, and the general public. Many recent public discussions of cryptocurrencies have been triggered by the substantial changes in their prices, claims that the market for cryptocurrencies is a bubble without any fundamental value, and also concerns about evasion of regulatory and legal oversight. These concerns have led to calls for increased regulation or even a total ban. Further debates concern inter alia, the classification of cryptocurrencies as commodities, money, or something else, the potential development of cryptocurrency derivatives and of credit contracts in cryptocurrency, the use of initial coin offerings (ICO), employing cryptocurrency technology to finance startup initiatives, and the issue of digital currencies by central banks employing cryptocurrency technologies. Market size and opportunities. The total market capitalization of the 100 largest cryptocurrencies is reported to exceed the equivalent of 330 billion euros globally by early 2018. The total market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies together in that period peaked at an even higher $728 billion, dropping just 3 weeks later to approximately $360 billion. In any event, there are compelling reasons why cryptocurrencies should be under more scrutiny by regulators and supervisors. The threat of price volatility, speculative trading, hack attacks, money laundering, and terrorist financing all call for stricter regulation. Cryptocurrency has provided many avenues to financial freedom for many people. As the technology improves, the industry goes from strength to strength. Blockchain technology is now being used to enhance almost every single sector. From gaming to cross-border payments, crypto is now involved. Whilst Bitcoin and Ethereum cement themselves as the two powerhouses of the crypto world, many new exciting projects aim to aid real-world problems. Analysts estimate that the global cryptocurrency market will more than triple by 2030, hitting a valuation of nearly $5 billion. Whether they want to buy into it or not, investors, businesses, and brands cannot ignore the rising tide of crypto for long. As a matter of fact, the reward system for cryptocurrency creates an incentive to leverage on computing power, increasing the consumption of energy. For example, note that computational efforts of miners are costly, mainly because the proof of work calculations are power intensive, consuming more than 173 megawatts of electricity continuously.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
Thanks for staying with us. It's now time to talk money on the show, talking about our money motivation segment. And today we'll be talking about an aspect of fashion, precisely jewelry business, how to start a jewelry business, and more importantly, how to make money off it. Joining us now to discuss this is the CEO of Benign Stores, Precious Amara, who joins us very soon. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning, Precious.
Hello, Precious. Okay. Okay. I think we now have her online. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Samson. Good morning, Margaret.
It's good to have you on the show. Fine. Good.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's delve right into it. Jewelry business. How do you start a jewelry business?
Okay, so I really don't go to the market to get mine. Okay. You know, you can call me a drop shipper. Okay. So most people don't think that, or don't know that you can actually, you know, drop ship jewelries. So that's what I do. And the beautiful thing about it is that you can start with little or no money at all, no capital. You understand? What I do, I get these pictures now from my suppliers. You know, most of my suppliers are abroad. So I get the pictures from them, and then I post it on my social media, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram as well. And then people order. Now, when they order, of course, I've infused my profit into it. When they order, I use the money, you understand, to pay for these goods.
Okay.
You understand? I pay for these goods, and then they are shipped to me afterwards. What I delve mostly on them, or my focus more is on customized jewelry. So whatever name you want to use, whatever symbol you want to use, or you want to use an artwork or something, you draw it, you want to use a word, you just send it to me. I send it to my suppliers, you know, they make the pendant or the necklace, whatever you want, in that same shape you want it. You understand? And then we ship it back to you, or back to me rather, and then I send it to you. I can either use your address, that's my client's address now. I can make them send it straight to my client, or they send it to me. And but why I prefer sending it, why I prefer them sending it to me is so that I can check the quality, check if it's intact, check if it's broken or anything is wrong with it before sending it down to my clients. Understand? So, yeah.
So apparently, for the jewelry business, you have the customized jewelry and the basic jewelry that you can sell. Okay, so for the customized jewelry, that's what you've spoken about. How do you test the authenticity of the jewelry? I'm asking about, you know, the device, because more often than not, you hear people say, oh, the gold, the bottle wasn't, you know, 36 karat or what have you, and there's a device to test it. If you are getting from your supplier, how certain are you that, you know, your supplier is extremely reliable and would give you good quality any day, any time?
Okay, so I dwell in stainless steel is what I order from abroad, and then my gold are made here in Nigeria. Yes, here in Lagos precisely. Yes. So I go to my supplier, I meet him. You understand? My gold dealer, I meet him, and then we test it. He has the device. You understand? I have a good rapport with him. So it is essential that before you start doing a jewelry business in Nigeria, before you start, order one for yours first. Get one for yourself. Just do a test run. Get yours. If you don't know the person, get your own. If you're ordering from outside Nigeria, place an order for yourself. Buy it first. Test it. Check it. Ensure that what you're going to sell to your customers is something that's durable. Is something that's going to last. For the gold, I ensure that I go there. So we always test it. Check how many keratin is going to use. I trust my supplier. That's just it. I trust my supplier.
Right. You know, when it comes to jewelry business, jewelry is something that it could be bit pricey and also capital intensive. So when it comes to jewelry, what's the profit margin like with especially customized jewelry? What's the profit margin like? Spending so much money and getting more, or spending less money and still getting more? What's it like for your kind of business?
Okay, so because it's stainless steel, you understand, it's not very valuable. It's not as valuable as gold and science and diamonds and the rest of them. So I personally don't infuse a lot of profit into it. So if I'm getting a customized jewelry for like, let me give an example, I'm getting it for like 2K, you understand? Then shipping fee itself is going to be like some 2,500, 3,000. That's like 5,000, right? I sell for like 6,000, 7,000. So I'm making my profit just like 1,000, 2,000, you know, between that. Some customized jewelries are getting them from my supplier abroad. I get it for like 3K. So shipping fee like another 3K, 6,000. I sell for like 8,000. So that's just how my profit is, 1,000, 2,000. I don't infuse too much, you know. But where I get more of my gain or my profit is from the gold. Yeah, because if I'm getting like say 18 carats for like 35K, yes. So when I'm selling it, I'm going to sell it for like 40,000 per gram. Okay, you understand? So if I'm getting,
go on, please go on.
So if I'm getting like, if my client wants his entire necklace to be like 5 grams, you understand, or let's say 4 grams, you know, that's going to be like how much? 35 times by 4 is 140, yeah? So I am going to get a profit of like 20K extra. That's where I make most of my gain from the gold. But from stainless steel, it's not really profitable. You know, truth is women are, I would say stingy, but women are very calculative when it comes to spending money. So they don't really spend much. I prefer even selling to guys than ladies. Women don't really spend much money. They want to bargain and beat the price down to like 6,000 or 6,500 or something. But guys will say, okay, 8,000, yeah, give it to me. Most of the people I sell, even my gold to, most of them are my new customers. Yeah.
Something.
Okay. Yes, I was about to ask. For you, I mean, you talked about gold. We're moving away from you know, the stainless steel now to the basic jewelry, your gold, your silver, and what have you. What will be the average cost? I know you've talked about, or maybe 18 karat being about 35,000. But we're looking at someone who wants to invest in the business. who wants to start up such a business, what will be the average cost of starting up such business?
That's what I said from the beginning of the show. I said you can actually start with even no capital.
That as a dropshipper?
Yes, as a dropshipper, you can start with no capital. All you need to do, get pictures. Okay, only if you're going to pay for the product you're getting for yourself. So when you're getting one for yourself, yeah, you're going to pay for that. But for your clients, you are getting it. You're getting the jewelries from the money they're going to pay you. When you get pictures from your clients, from your suppliers, you post it and they say, okay, I want this. You tell them the price, they'll pay for it, and then you take the money from there, and send it to your supplier, and then they'll start production. They actually don't start production until they get the full payment.
Okay.
You understand? So you can start with little or no capital.
Okay, that's as a dropshipper. I'm talking about someone who doesn't want to dropship but wants to, start the business himself or herself and invest in it. What will be the average cost to at least make a decent start?
Okay, so if you just want to buy, the jewelries, you can go to Lagos market. You don't really need to ship it. Ship in from abroad. Yes, you can go to Lagos market or trade fair to get good quality steel product.
Okay. I think the network is friendly, but I like the fact that she differentiated that of the stainless steel from the gold, the basic ones and all. And I'll just like to know what the cost is, because you never can tell. Margaret may have 500,000 somewhere and decides to invest in it. And I think you'd make more sales, considering you have good female friends who can always.
Why do you think I'll make so much sales? You know, if I'm so much of a good salesperson.
No, now ladies usually go for Owambe, and they.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm not one to go for Owambe. I remember last time I went for an Owambe. Choma, are you back? If you're back, please.
I'm here.
All right. Something was going to ask a question. Something you want to take up from there?
Okay.
Yes. The question I asked earlier had to do with the average cost of getting the jewelries. You said you could get from Lagos market.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Okay, the network being friendly there, but. I know she mentioned
Lagos market,
trade fair, and all of that. It's really interesting to know how much one can start off.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you were going to ask you something.
Yes. My question was, what's the average cost one can start with the business with? You talked about going to Lagos market.
I can't hear you.
Okay. The network there being very friendly, but looking at the jewelry business, I know quite well that, as I said, you have more of the women getting jewelry in terms of the Owambes, the parties, and what have you. It will just be interesting to see if with probably 300,000 one can start the business. You never can tell who is watching and would like to know how to go about it.
But she also mentioned that she likes to sell to her male friends, because the female people like us would always would bargain and bargain and bargain. But the guys would just say, okay, you're selling this amount, fine, let me have it. But we ladies will always want to beat it down to
but
the
ladies
lowest.
go for one bit more than guys.
Well, but do we have to spend too much money?
And,
come on now, Choma, you there, please?
I'm here.
All right, yeah. Something was asking, what's the average cost? Yeah, if I'm correct, average cost of someone who doesn't want to go into drop shipping. Am I correct?
Yes.
And wants to start as a business on its own. I doesn't want to do drop shipping. How much will it cost?
You can start with as low as 20K.
No,
30,000.
Not for the stainless steel now. For the gold.
Okay, for gold.
Yes.
Okay. For gold, you need lots of money because it's gold. Okay. Now, you have so people would want, you don't know what they would want. Okay. So you have to make them in different, you have to have variety of grams and carats. You have the 14K carats, we have the 14 carats gold, we have the 18, we have 20, 22, then we have 24. 24 is raw gold. That's way more expensive. So, but you have to have at least maybe 500K.
Yeah. Okay.
I was a perfect.
Yeah, something gets correct. All right. Well,
at least 500K.
All right, I think that's it we really need to know because, well, thank you so much, Chioma, for sharing your thoughts on this conversation. It's really important people know how much it would take to start businesses just so they don't run at loss. We appreciate you on the show. Thank you, Precious. Something, well, network was not so friendly at some point, but then and you guys correctly said 500,000. I know you just have to, of course, not for 24 karat gold, you know, maybe the lower, 14, but 24 karat, like she mentioned, is the raw gold and it's more expensive. Well, enough ladies will make so much money there, but you know, having to wear this thing, living in this kind of country, so you don't drop your neck. But when it comes to jewelry business, one has to take extra care because you posting on your social media platforms, not everybody right there is your customer. Some are trying to monitor you. Can you deliver to me? And then they are, you know, they're being dubious in their act. Well, it's still okay. Business in itself is a risk.
It's a risk. Life itself is a risk, and I hope that people are security conscious, despite posting pictures of how they slayed, you know, in that OMB outfit and all. But it's also good to look good, and the jewelry business is part of the fashion industry in terms of looking good as a whole. You remember the saying, "How you dress is how you be addressed." So I think it's a very good one. It's quite enlightening what Precious Amount shared with us, and hopefully whoever wants to start that business can, you know, just begin with that, you know, measures of those tips, as it were, that she shared with us.
All right, well.
We're going on a very short break now. When we return, it's over time to take you through the world of sports business.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services, and meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash, quick delivery.
Oh boy, winning you was so easy.
I just couldn't stand those your powerful shots. That's what happened.
Really? Let's go to my place for dinner.
This fufu is so nice.
It's true unripe plantain flour.
True unripe plantain flour is delicious.
Yes, true unripe plantain flour is what I serve my husband for swallows. It's easy to prepare, fortified with vitamin A, low in sugar and cholesterol, rich in fiber that helps the heart, builds and strengthens the bone, and his energy level is boosted.
Through unripe plantain flour, no additives, 100% natural, a product of Pali Agro Products Nigeria. Through unripe plantain flour, available in all leading stores nationwide.
True unripe plantain flour is 100% natural flour gotten from the processing of unripe plantain. It contains no addictive and has a net content of 500 grams. True unripe plantain flour contains vitamin A, B6 and C. It is gluten-free and rich in calcium. Consuming true unripe plantain flour helps to build and strengthen stronger bones and can be a great meal for diabetic patients. It decreases your chances of constipation as it has a high fiber content and provides you with a low-fat diet. Here are some steps to prepare your true unripe plantain flour. Firstly, mix true unripe plantain flour with hot water in a pot and gradually add water till you achieve desired thickness. Place over medium heat and turn very well for 4 to 5 minutes to get the right texture. Mold into a ball and place in a bowl and allow to cool. Serve with your choice of soup. True unripe plantain flour can be eaten with any variety of soup, be it your ofe oha, ofe onugbu, begiri, ewedu, or your miyan kuka. To get your true unripe plantain flour, contact us at 12 Olowera Isheri Road by First Welder Bus Stop off Omole Phase 2, Olowera, Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-6663-8213. or 081-6397-4447. Distributors are needed nationwide.
Mama, you're coming to Lagos. Banga. Baby, Mama just called me now. She's coming to see you. She asked me to tell you to make banga soup for her. And she's close to the house. Oh.
How do you expect me to prepare banga in just few minutes? I have a solution for you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, sabi cook the banga. No go enter my family.
Pali banga is used in making other exotic dishes such as banga jollof rice, banga eforiro, banga asaro or yam porridge, banga egusi, and many more. Pali banga is easy to open, no preservatives, no cholesterol, and no coloring. Approved by NAFDAC. Manufactured by Pali Agro Products Limited. Available in all leading stores and supermarkets nationwide.
Pali banga, natural palm fruit extracts for tasty African cuisine.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. Found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
It's time to keep you abreast of the commercial side of sports. I'll start with football, where Barcelona has reportedly agreed to sell a 10% stake in its TV rights to private equity firm Sixth Street for roughly $217 million. Earlier this month, delegates for the La Liga club approved the cession of up to 25% of income from the rights for 25 years, as well as the sale of a 49.95% share of its licensing and merchandising division. The deal will also include streaming rights, though it's unclear whether the team will sell the remaining 15% of the overall broadcasting rights over the 25 years. The team expects to earn roughly $635 million from the sales. Before the vote on June 16th, reports surfaced that Bank of America was in talks with the team for the rights in a deal valued at $645 million. Still talking sports business in the world of football, the United Soccer League has signed a 10-year strategic partnership with experiences firm Legends. The new agreement will see Legends aim to bolster the US-based lower-tier football league's national sponsorship sales, as well as providing fan insights and offering innovative business solutions. The agreement covers all of the USL's men's and women's football leagues. Now, Legends will additionally assist in helping raise the local profile of USL teams in areas such as stadium planning, development, operations, ticketing strategy, stadium naming rights, sales, merchandise, technology, as well as digital solutions. As it goes about its expansion, the USL is set to add more than 25 new teams over the next 5 years, with the new USL Super League Women's Division set to launch in August 2023. Wrapping up sports business at this time, the Open Golf Major delivered £113.4 million in economic benefit to local Kent area during the 2021 tournament, and this is according to new data published by the R&A. The UK tournament, which was hosted at Royal St George's Course in Sandwich last year, generated a direct economic impact of £19.4 million for Kent, according to a report from Sheffield Hallam University's Sports Industry Research Centre. Additionally, a marketing study by YouGov Sports calculated that the county gained £94 million in gross advertising value for the more than 5,400 hours of global TV coverage, media reporting, digital streaming platforms, and social media content. And that's about it when it comes to keeping you abreast of the latest sports business news. We're going on another break right now. When we return, it will be time to get the reactions of Nigerians within social space. Please to stay with us.
The cosmetics and personal care industry globally generates an estimated annual turnover of around $400 billion over the last 20 years. In Nigeria, the beauty and personal care market could reach 3.2 billion euros by 2021, making Nigeria the rising star in sub-Saharan Africa. Products for hair and body care are predominant on the beauty market in sub-Saharan Africa, where face products and makeup remain marginal but have strong potential. Africa's largest economy clearly has a lot to offer. The Nigerian beauty and personal care market is currently worth more than $1.25 billion at retail and is forecast to reach more than $1.31 billion next year, according to Euromonitor International. It includes a wide range of products from skincare items to makeup and beauty items. These are items that predominantly appeal to women and men alike to purchase beauty products, even though men are interested in cosmetics. Nigeria has emerged as the investment destinations of choice to international firms aiming to capture the beauty and personal care market in the continent. The photography business is a very competitive industry. Every year, thousands of talented photo lovers consider turning their passion into a money-making business venture. Especially in a fiercely competitive marketplace like Nigeria, in which it is very easy for anyone to buy a digital camera and call themselves a professional photographer. According to some practitioners, a new photographer who wants a standard studio can start with a budget of 3.5 million naira. However, one can start with a lower budget of about 500,000 to 1 million naira, depending on the tools and cost of rent. On the average, the cost of photography equipment is around 294,790 naira. However, the price ranges from around 41,000 naira to as high as 2.46 million naira. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people with a vibrant movie industry that produces 50 movies per week, generating annual revenue of approximately $590 million from between 2016 and 2021, helping the photography industry as a whole, according to a recent research by the UN.
Are you a business owner looking for the right exposure to attract massive clients to your brand? The long search is definitely over. SME Hub allows you to showcase your products and services to a wide range of viewers and buyers nationwide. For further inquiries, please call Alero on 081-323-43262, or you can send an email to alero.ogudere@ibrandtv.com. Grow your brand and boost your business on SME Hub, live on IBrandTV, where business comes first.
The future of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies continue to draw a lot of attention from investors, entrepreneurs, regulators, and the general public. Many recent public discussions of cryptocurrencies have been triggered by the substantial changes in their prices, claims that the market for cryptocurrencies is a bubble without any fundamental value, and also concerns about evasion of regulatory and legal.
Glad to have you back, and now it's time for social media buzz, and Mercy Manuel is right here with us in the studio. Good morning, Mercy, and thank you. Good morning, Margaret and Samson.
How
are you? You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you. Great. I love turtleneck.
Yeah, turtleneck. Right. So what's happening on social media?
A lot of things are actually happening on social media, but we're going to be taking just 3 stories today.
Oh, okay.
So we'll begin social media buzz today with a barbaric massacre carried out at the border of Spanish enclave Melilla in Africa. At least 37 migrants were killed and 150 more injured when thousands tried to cross the Moroccan border in Melilla on Friday. According to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, many came from Chad, Niger, Sudan, and South Sudan, and will be considered potential asylum seekers according to international law. The precise cause of the deaths remain unclear. Footages released by Al Jazeera showed dozens of people lying by the border fence, some bleeding, and many apparently lifeless, as Moroccan security forces stood over them. Melillian border and its equivalent Cheta, also bordering Morocco, are the only 2 land borders between the European Union and African countries. And you'll recall that Morocco and Spain reopened its land border just last month. So let me get your reaction, Samson and Margaret. Is there anything bad for Africans to look for greener pasture? Because, of course, if you look at the countries, South Sudan, Chad, Niger, then even coming down to Nigeria, there are a lot of things Nigerians are experiencing at this period. Talk of insecurity, unemployment, poverty. So is there anything bad in looking for greener pasture?
There's nothing bad to look for greener pastures, but then you have to also understand that there has to be legal means of looking for greener pastures. You can't risk your life like that. Now, we understand that the African continent in itself has a lot of things that should be figured out just so the residents of Africa would be comfortable. But on the other hand, you're going into another person's country without, it's more like a thief coming, for lack of better words, someone coming to your house from the back door who is not a member of your house. Your husband, your kids, everyone, they're inside the house, and someone else is coming through the back door. The first reaction will be defensive. So this is just what's happening. There's nothing wrong in looking for greener pastures, but then it's also important the legal means of looking for greener pastures and not trying to go through the back end.
Okay, before I get Samson's view, I don't support irregular migration. But again, you understand that before you can move from Africa to European countries, even before you can move from Nigeria to Ghana, you need funds. And because these people, maybe they don't have means of livelihood, and they're just looking for, maybe that, okay, they've heard stories of Europe, life is better there, and they're just looking for, okay, if I can travel, because there's this migration program I attended, and we were made to understand that a lot of people actually died in desert.
Desert, yes.
And we don't get reports of them, but we hear more of the Mediterranean Sea. But so these people, they do their calculation and they realize, okay, if I can travel through this land border from Chad, I can connect with Cameroon, like that, maybe 300K will take me to Europe. And you know, when these travel agents, or when these agents meet them, they sweet coat their word. There's a way they sugarcoat their word. They will show them the map, but this is where we're going to follow. So, Samson, let me get your reaction.
It's definitely, there's nothing wrong with seeking greener pastures in terms of desiring a better livelihood for yourself, but it has to be through the right means. When you go through the legal means, you find out that you experience all of these and more. All of these in the sense that you get beaten, brutalized. Sometimes you have issues of trafficking. We had that with Libya about 2-3 years ago, where several returnees from Libya had to narrate how people were being sold to slavery, among others. There's also the place of being made a sex slave, among others. Now, for all of that, the extreme of it is apparently death. As you've said, several will die. You won't even get to know about them. I think the issue here has to also do with the treatment meted out by the law enforcement agents at the borders, the border patrol agents, to these either asylum seekers or refugees or illegal migrants, if you want to call them that. You look at it, from that video we saw the use of beatings, clubs, and the way they were just being tossed around. One of them was tossed against the border wall, and it wasn't dead. It wasn't like you were just trying to pile up corpses, just to clear up. No, or to account for them. So the treatment is also something you need to address. And while I understand certain countries will take tough stances against irregular migration, especially those that are controlled by conservative ideologies, there should also be the place of dignity and decency for the next human life that you're treating. Remember, the former U.S. President Trump talked about putting alligators by the border walls to fend off irregular migrants and all. And if there's anything to go by, it seemed like just a mere rhetoric, but that's someone who you cannot entirely vouch for that it's just a mere political statement. He could decide to go ahead with it. So the truth is, as much as yes, you're trying to prevent irregular migration and migrants from coming into your country illegally, there should also be a bit of decency and dignity to how you address them, how you treat them. And from the videos we've seen with the way the police men dealt with them, that's not right. So it's a two-way thing. On one hand, irregular migration is wrong, and those who are trying to seek asylum should do that the right way rather than go through all of these means. On the other hand, the border patrol agents need to also understand that as much as these are in quote unwanted people, they're humans and should be treated as one. And of course they can be sent back to their country. They can be deported. There are always detention camps at borders where you round them up, you put them at detention camps, go through their papers. If they're not meeting up with certain migration qualifications, you send them back. So let's take some reactions. As Owari said, forget about the Ukraine and Russian war. Africa is leaderless. Africa is bleeding. The question now shouldn't be what is AU doing or where are our leaders. The question now should be, when are we going to say enough is enough? Hashtag Millennium Massacre. Then as Jack Carrot said, Spanish media reports that they killed only 30 Africans. Does this look like 30 to you? You accept 110,000 Ukrainian refugees fleeing war, but killed over 200 for fleeing war. Perhaps war matters only when it's not happening in Africa. Then at Unlimited Eniola, the World Watch, feel peaceful and comfortable and excited as dozens of African immigrants from Morocco beaten to death. This is 2022, and African life do not matter to them. Why is the black color still carries death, hatred, where white life lives? Then at Faith Stephen say, for centuries you've tortured, abused, killed, but one day all this pain and suffering will fuel a new world where rejected stones shall become the corner piece. So there are other reactions online calling on the AU to at least say something, calling on African Union leaders to react to this, because of course I think there was this story yesterday, the African leaders, African Union actually made a statement, but again it's beyond making statement, because this is not the first time. This is not the first time African migrants are being killed at different European borders.
Yes. So I think it's just acting on the statement to make it rather than just making statement, because it now seems to be like mid or minor lip service, because these are lives that are important. Lives are part of it. So it just to act on the words they have, not just to make statements and other statements.
Okay, moving on. Amid this uncertainty about the former Lagos State Governor, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his educational past, the Chicago State University has said it is unable to provide clarity on the primary and secondary schools attended by Bola Tinubu, a presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressive Party, APC. Lauren Finch, a spokeswoman from Chicago State University, said Mr. Tinubu's academic record are covered by American privacy regulations. The Chicago State University has confirmed Mr. Tinubu as a student graduating with a degree in business and administration on June 22, 1979. You'll recall last week Mr. Tinubu disclosed to INEC that he did not attend primary school or secondary school. Now let's talk about the constitutionally to qualify for the presidential seat. First, you must be a Nigerian by birth. You must be at least 35 years of age. Then you must belong to a political party. Then you must have at least a secondary school certificate. So Samson Amag, if I ask you now, where is your secondary school certificate? Will you tell me you can look at them?
Well, I have them, but you know the beauty about it is the law is clear. It says at least. In other words, you can have more. The man does not have a secondary school and primary school certificate. He has a degree, a bachelor's degree. That's been confirmed by the school.
Before you can attain, before you can get this BSc, you have to have second family and
again, the law didn't say submit your secondary school. Remember, we're dealing with the law. You would have your legal juggernauts, your basically your lawyers look at the loopholes within the law. The law says at least. In other words, you can provide something more than a secondary school certificate.
Yeah, I understand you. But for example, you're applying for a job.
Mercy.
They won't just ask for your BSc.
I'm not disputing.
They will ask for your primary school certificate.
What I'm saying is, as the school, Chicago, confirmed that indeed he was a student of theirs. Yes, they have. Period. In other words, he has a bachelor's degree to tender that INEC, this is my educational qualification. The law again is specific. It was explicit. It said at least. At least. In other words, the least you can provide is secondary school. If you have a master's, a PhD, you can tender it. So the man has a university degree. He will tender it.
But then looking at it from,
it's controversial. I'm not disputing. But the beauty about it is that Chicago State's Chicago University has confirmed that indeed he's a student, and can be rest assured that that's what his lawyers would, clamp down on, and he will just tender the university degree. Again, see, miracles happen in Nigeria, and I like it.
But then I'm wondering what kind of miracle that is, because you are tendering, you're offering or showing BSc, and then you do not have secondary. So
he actually said he was on exile
for a university,
and by the time he returned, all his properties were
taken by the military.
The soldiers took it.
But logically, it may make sense by the law, but really, being realistic doesn't make sense.
You know, the beauty about the law, as I said, is lawyers will look for the loopholes within the law to make their case, and the law is simple. At least you should have secondary school certificate.
Please, let's take some reactions. Then at Yusuf tweets, Nigeria cannot afford another NEPA bill certificate. President, tell us the school you went to. Tell us your classmates. Tell us who Bobo Chicago was. They've been dragging Bola Ahmed Tinubu as Bobo Chicago. Then another one at Ayomide said, letter from Chicago University. Dear Nigerians, if Bobo Chicago says he attend our school, he attend be that. Please don't stress us.
That's an adult-written letter from
Then at Jonab say, how come Tinubu passed APC screening in the first place? APC will have disqualified Bobo Chicago, but they didn't, because education is not their priority.
It also depends on what their guidelines are. If they send, at the very least, a secondary school certificate and it presents a university degree, I mean, he meets up with the qualification. Again, it's all about the qualification.
But again, let's say maybe it's because it's Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What if you are in
possibly
shoes?
Again, I'm not ruling that out. What I'm saying is this. See, the law was explicit. You read out the various criteria, right? 35 years of age, Nigerian and all. At least.
And
I have more than.
Well, okay. And again, I can't remember one of the comments I read. The guy said, again, we don't want a president with NEPA bill. Presented NEPA bill.
But when it comes to something as important as the president of the country, there's a need to be truthful, not just educated, to be truthful, because you can't start on this premise.
Yes.
Start on this premise and you're expecting, if you're at this early stage, you're already having issues with your certificates here and there, it may be true, but
why do you always have this issue? I think we have this issue with President Muhammadu Buhari. Why do you always have this issue with our political leaders?
Well, maybe because they're not as open as they ought to be, because imagine you have other people who have their certificates intact and then they are put aside,
who are more qualified.
Well, because of the want of time, we just have to wrap up and not talk about which is more qualified, but hopefully Nigerians will pick their choice based on all of those things. It's too early to have all of this conversation. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We had an amazing show. We'll leave you with a quote from Dale Carnegie that says, develop success from failures, discouragement, and failures are two of the surest stepping stones to success. You develop success from failures because discouragement and failures are the two surest stepping stones to success. So Samson and Mercy, in 30 seconds together. Simply
I mean, you just have to, make use of the discouragement, the betrayals, the disappointments you have, and the failures on the journey to success. It's about learning from it, really. So all of that it's a process.
I had like what she said, learning.
You make mistake, you stand up, keep pushing till you make it.
Well, you just heard all they have said. Thank you so much for joining us. Please join us tomorrow, same time, same station, IBrandTV. I am Margaret Oparadu. Have an amazing day.
And I'm Mercy Emmanuel. Have a blessed day.
So have a great day. I'm Samson Olede.